ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the Darkest Dungeon.
Hello and welcome to Botched Up Games. I am Brian, and today we are going to be starting our Let's Play of Darkest Dungeon. It's a fantastic game. If you've never played it before, it really is fantastic. So it's essentially a dungeon crawler, roguelike, turn-based RPG. It's super unforgiving compared to other games that I've played. There's just moments where, when shit hits the fan, it hits the fan, and that's what we're going to be delving into today. So I'm going to start a new estate. You can see here that I've played this already. I've played it on the darkest difficulty, which is what we're going to do again. It ended up on week 210 there, but we're going to start a new one for the sake of this. I have all the DLC because I purchased that before. I'm just going to leave everything in. I think it's fun with it. The Crimson Court adds some really nice sort of quirks and extra added difficulty to it. The Flagellant and Shieldbreaker classes are fantastic additions. The districts I haven't used so much, but there's some good bonuses in there if you have the resources. And the Colour of Madness is, again, it's a fantastic DLC where you just face off against sort of endless swarms of enemies, and it's really enjoyable. It's more of a late game thing for me, but yeah, we'll get into that. Start campaign. Is this your first estate? The Crimson Court increases the complexity and pressure of the campaign. It is recommended for experienced players. Well, yeah, I'm really bad at this game, but I still enjoy a little bit of challenge nonetheless, you know? So let's do it. Let's jump right on in. Darkest difficulty, please. Botched up, of course. Where's my exclamation marks at? And let's begin.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Okay, we are in. With the stagecoach destroyed and the caretaker gone, you will have to make the journey to the hamlet on foot. We begin the old road. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a tutorial here for you who have not played this game before. So the map navigation. So you can see the map there where the sort of torch is lit on the green room at the moment. You are currently in a room. To move towards another room, use the right stick. I'm playing on Xbox. So use the right stick to select destination room on the map. This will take you to the connecting hallway. So here we go.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
Thank you, Wayne. While in a hallway, use the left stick to move forward or backwards. Will do.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear.
Combat is turn-based. On your hero's turn, select a skill icon and then select a target. If you can't select a particular skill, it's because that hero needs to be standing in a different spot, or there are no valid targets. Highlight the skill to see their requirements. I'll talk you guys through this in a little bit more detail. So we've got Dismas here, our highwayman. His first attack that we have on the bar at the moment is Open Vein 1, so that's just level 1 of this attack. So its accuracy, it's a melee attack, so its accuracy is base 95, its damage modifier is minus 15%, so it's a little weaker than the equivalent of a no damage modifier, but that's because it has additional effects. So things that tend to have a secondary effect, like bleed in this case, will do lower initial damage, and it will obviously make up for that, for the damage over time. So this inflicts a bleed. It's a 100% base chance to inflict a bleed on the target, and that does 2 points of damage over 3 rounds, so you've got 6 points of total damage there. It also debuffs the target, so it's minus 20% bleed resist, has a 100% base chance to do that, and minus 1 speed, which is a 100% base chance to do that. Now everything is a roll of the dice in this game, so it's all based on chance. It's all R&D, RNG even. So yeah, I mean, because of it being based on chance, there's no guarantee that you're going to do any of this. Even with a 100% base chance to bleed, if they have bleed resistance at 40%, for example, and you've got a total of a 60% chance to inflict that bleed, and then so on and so forth. So having a minus 20% bleed resist chance, it does help towards the following actions, and the speed as well. So every round starts with a roll of the dice. You don't know who's going to go first. It's just characters that have faster speed are going to have a higher chance of starting that round in that order, but it can still screw you over as quick as it can make it better for you. So we're going to go straight for Open Vein. You can see we also have a Grape Shot Blast, which is a ranged attack. Now take a quick look at the yellow circles and the red circles in the description under this. So the yellow circles are the 4 circles are the position of your bar, so that's your team. So that is the position you could be in and still be able to use this attack. And the bar on the right hand side with the red dots, that's the opposing side. So you can see from this, I can use this attack in the first 3 slots of my bar. I can use it against the first 2 enemies on the other side. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and use Open Vein here. 8 damage, nice. Oh, got a bleed and I got the debuff off. So you can see the little icons there. Just ticked over straight away when it was his turn. And I got a dodge. Oh, that is nice. I have died on the tutorial before. It can be that rough. So we got Smite here. It's a good attack. Better against Unholy, so they're like see skeletons coming up later on. Zealous Accusation, which is more of the ranged attack, which means non-contact, which is handy for things like if someone has a counter-attack chance against you. Ranged attack means that you don't suffer the consequence of a counter, I believe. So we're going to try and go for a stun here. Stunning Blow 1. It's only a 90% chance to hit. It does half the damage of the equivalent normal attack, but there's a 100% chance for it to stun. Obviously, based on their stun resistance, that's not going to be guaranteed, but it's a decent chance. Let's go for it. He's only got 2 HP, so it doesn't really matter. We'll go for, that's 85 accuracy, that's 85 accuracy. I just want to hit him, so I'm going to go for stun and blows, higher accuracy.
Continue the onslaught.
And down he goes.
Destroy them all.
Oh, Wayne Jr., you spoil me. Oh, his voice is like butter. Okay, loot. Each item, if you take it, will occupy space in your inventory. Hold the left trigger and use the left stick to show details about the items available to loot. This works in your inventory too. Alright, so you can see here, we've won a fight, we've got 250 gold to play with. These are all the spaces that I have in my inventory. That gold stack will occupy one of those spaces. Now, every item has so much it can stack up to before it occupies a second space. So you've got to manage your inventory as you go. So we'll get into that a little bit further down the line too. Interactive objects. Curios. While exploring, you will often find interactive objects. Press the E button to investigate them with the active hero. Take a look at this tent. Alright. So yeah, you've got various things that pop up as you wander through dungeons. Some things yield better rewards than others. Some things will give you, curses and whatnot, and debuffs, permanent debuffs that you have to get rid of, and things like the church. But yeah, for the time being, we'll get into that at a later date. So, Traveller's Tent. Someone has camped here recently. You see where it says Y in the middle for myself? That's where you can use an item for this. So sometimes interactive objects will use items from your inventory to get their best results, or using the wrong item will give you the worst results. So I'm just going to do a standard investigate with my bare hands here.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
Oh, Wayne June. Honestly, this guy's amazing. I love his voice so much. Okay, we're going to take some more gold and we're going to move on. Next room. You see my torchlight's going down.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Oh, savage. Alrighty, so we've got a big guy here. You see, he takes up 2 slots for them. So if I go to open vein, I can't hit the guy at the back even though he's second, because this guy takes up 2 slots. Alright, so I want to hit the guy at the back, which I sort of do. I would have to use a ranged attack. So what have we got here? That does more damage against marked. I want the big guy down. Okay, I'm just going to go for it. Going to lace in. Get a bleed off. Nice. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go straight in, try and stun him. So you can see there's some more stats there. You can see his stun resist is 50%. So this attack has a 100% chance to stun, 50% resistance. There's a 50-50 chance here that we're going to pull it off. It resisted. Oh no! Okay. This is going to hurt. Ooh. So you'll notice, I mean, even at high levels, the health bars are not massive. I'm going to just go in again, try and bleed again. Get a stack on. Yeah, got a second bleed there too. This fight has been so unforgiving for me before in the past as well. Alright, we're going to go... I'm not going to try and stun him again. I'm just going to go straight in for the smite. Get some damage off. He should die next turn.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
I think we got this. Okay, so he's got 12 health. Go in. He's got 2 turns even if I miss him, so just go ahead and go some highest accuracy again. Just going to go for the stun. We got him.
Give them no quarter.
Oh, cool. Okay, so we got a trinket here. I've equipped that straight away. You can see here it's a damage stone. So before every quest, normally you get a chance to equip some trinkets. So the damage stone here is a common trinket, and it gives me a plus 10% damage, minus 4% dodge. Now this is what you're going to come to learn about Darkest Dungeon if you've never played it before. There's always a trade-off. I mean, 90% of the time there's a trade-off. So you'll get something that has some really good benefits, but it always has a downside. Like I said, 9 times out of 10 is a downside. Completing a quest. After you've completed the requirements of a quest, you have the option to return to town at any time. Just press the right stick. You don't need to return to the starting room of the dungeon to exit. You just finish where you are, basically. So we're going to go ahead and press the B button here. So I'm going to remain because I haven't got the chest yet. Alright, see. Okay. Okay, see? This is what I mean. If I had to go through a dungeon now, I'd be poisoned for a few steps too. Just no good. No good at all. Alright, let's go. We got some heirlooms there too, that's nice. Experience. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so we've been inflicted here with the yips, which is going to be sort of a permanent thing until we can get it cured off. So the yips gives me permanent minus 5% accuracy on Reynold, which is, that's not good. But on guard is a positive, so it's plus 4 speed on the first round, plus 5 dodge on the first round. Which means that obviously when we take him, that first round is going to be good for him going forward. And you can sort of collect these as you go. We will talk about that a little further down the line.
Such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Thank you. Yes, yes we are indeed. Okay, so you got sort of goals as you go through. Got an activity log here, just tells you sort of what you have done, what's happened while you've been away. Because sometimes you'll go on a quest and you'll come back and you've technically been gone a week. When you come back, things can happen while you're gone. You know, sometimes you guys can be a bit too jolly in the pub and they'll piss off and you don't know where they've gone, so you can't use them for the next quest and it takes a little while for them to return. Certain characters have reactions to the state of the moon and whatnot. It's there's all sorts. This game is littered with features and it's fantastic. When you cobble it all together, it just makes it super challenging at the worst time, which is a great way to play. Alright, so we're going to exit out of here. Get help where you may. On any screen in the game, press View to see contextual help. Try it while in town, exploring, fighting, camping, and more. Alrighty. Which is basically the start button for me. So there you go. Let's have a look here. Stagecoach. This is where you get new recruits.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Alright, the Stagecoach is your hero lifeblood. You'll need to recruit all of these heroes to fill out a party of 4. Select each hero and then use the left stick, the A button, to place the hero in your active roster on the right. Okie dokie. Oh, so we've got a Plague Doctor and a Vestal. It's pretty standard when you start the game. You'll always get given these. This is sort of the core 4, if you like. So your Vestal is your healer, and your Plague Doctor is the specialist with sort of blight and curing ailments. So the likes of your bleeds and your blights. The positioning is really key when you use any party of 4, and these really round out what you've been given at the start. So we'll go ahead and put them.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
Depending on the what they've got as well, attack-wise, they might be in slightly different positions, but we'll go for that for now. Upgrade the Stagecoach network. While you're here, spend some of your starting heirlooms on upgrading the Stagecoach network. This will increase the amount of heroes available in the future, which is really a good shout. If you've ever played this game before, you'll know the likelihood of someone dying while you're out and then you just not being able to get them back, and obviously you need more heroes, is high. So what have we got here? We've got enough to increase the number of available heroes to 3. We've also got enough to increase the size of the roster to 13, which I think for now we'll just increase that.
Great heroes can be found even here, in the mud.
We'll do
and
that
rain.
too. Okay. So we need to collect things as we go along. Heirlooms are one of them, and heirlooms are key to your success really, and building your village up from there. Thank you for the advice. There isn't much more you can do in town right now. It's time to embark on a quest. He's right, alright. But what we're going to do is, because there was a lot of intro in this was just sort of a teaser for what the game has in store, and I'm a little bit tight for time, so all I wanted to do was just create a little bit of a short video to get us through the teaser and into the game, so that next time when I pick it up, we're ready to go on some quests and go through this in a little bit more detail, and you can see what it's all about. But that's it for now, guys. Like I said, my name is Brian. This is Botched Up Games. I hope you look forward to some more. But remember, if you can't beat them, Botched. Take care now.